After a long winter, John and I were ready for the southern portion of our road trip.
Part 2 of the trip.
Part 2, do. Here we go. So where are we off to today? On the first
Today
start
we're going to go through Baltimore.
Wow.
And through DC. And we're going to end up in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
And then we're going to break down and die.
Yes.
In Virginia. How do you feel about it so far? It looks great.
We're going to make it.
Sucks. What a waste of time.
Here we go, back on Route 1. Headed for the Mason Dixon.
Heading to Key West.
Maryland welcomes you, and the South.
First sight on our journey?
Conowingo Dam.
A hydroelectric dam completed in 1928, which crosses the mighty Susquehanna River.
One thing I heard about Route 1 is it's a lot of strip malls, a lot of drive-through, a lot of fast food, a lot of car dealerships, so I think that's what we're going to see on this trip. But that's okay. My voice just cracked. But that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Yoo-hoo.
First big city after the Mason Dixon line on Route 1, Baltimore, Maryland, where we started to get a little lost.
I'm going to use my map on my phone to get through Baltimore because supposedly it's easy to get lost in Baltimore on Route 1.
Without this, we would be screwed.
Yep. It's already saved us once. Signage is not too good in Baltimore.
Luckily, our GPS told us we were still in Baltimore and not on Easter Island. Before we left Baltimore, John and I decided to turn off of Route 1 to visit one of Baltimore's most notorious residents.
So that's the Springville area.
John Wilkes Booth, Abraham Lincoln's assassin. In this family plot, his headstone is the only one not marked, but it is pretty obvious which one it is.
We made it through Baltimore on Route 1. Not out of Baltimore yet. You know what? You see a Mexican roadside stand? We're stopping.
Nice. That looks fantastic. Oh my God. Wow, those are some big pieces.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Look at that.
Awesome.
After our delicious roadside lunch, John and I headed down Route 1 to our nation's capital. On our journey down Route 1 through Washington, D.C., did John and I see any of these historic landmarks? No.
Why?
We got to see this. And get lost again.
Getting lost in DC, it's awesome. I guess if you're gonna get lost, you might as well get lost in DC. Again, with Route 1 not labeled. Come on, DC. Alright, we're crossing the Potomac, headed into Virginia. Didn't get much of a look at DC.
Crossing the Potomac, we felt we were entering the real South. So how did John and I realize we reached the beginning of the real South? Route 1 is named after the President of the Confederate States.
What's the one thing you're looking forward to the most?
I think the Florida Keys.
Oh yeah, all right, that's cool. Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
Spending time with John.
And with that, we got to our destination for the night in Fredericksburg, Virginia.